Hello and welcome to my video. I am Camille Dunworth. My topic is influences of human-computer interaction in-game heads-up display design. This here is an overlay of the different types of HUD layouts within games. As you can see, it is really clustered, but I will be taking you through the different types and relating them to a different medium. The medium I have chosen is films, as they have the HUD elements. Here is a key I have chosen to use to separate each element. As you can see, it is split between bars and icons to represent elements. I will now talk about the influence of human-computer interaction in fighting games HUD design. Here is a look at the traditional HUD within fighting games. I will take you through each element. I will start with the health bars that show the health of the player's characters, as this is an important factor within fighting games and needs to be ever present at all times, as well as not intervening with the action which takes place on the ground. The health bars are usually found at the top of the screen as shown. One for each character. Player 1's health will be situated at the top left and player 2's at the top right. Players usually look across the screen to see what their opposition are doing and can easily take a glance to see their opposition's health. Another traditional element within fighting games are power bars. These are usually placed towards the bottom of the screen so the user doesn't get mixed up with a player's health. These bars are usually faded slightly as to not intervene with the user's action. Time is a major factor of fighting games elements. This is usually found at center top of screen as the players can check on the time of the match when looking at players' health. It also serves as a partition between the player's health bars as to not let the users intertwine the bars. Fighting games tend to have a load of characters and try to let the user know who they are fighting as, especially within tag team style matchups. To do this, they include names of the characters. These are of little importance to the users as they have no effect on gameplay. This is why they are placed above health bars usually, so the player doesn't have to take their eyes off a distraction to get to the health bars. Some games tend to include player selection, such as fighting games. This is so when the characters switch places on the screen, the user is aware of the change in the heads-up display. These are found towards the top near or next to the characters' names. This is because it is of little importance to the user as they are expected to know the look of the character they are controlling. Fighting games tend to be fought over a number of rounds, so the player needs this information displayed to them to know the amount of rounds they have won. This information is as important as the time, so it is usually placed near the time for the user's ease of interaction. Character icons are traditionally displayed in fighting games. These are generally placed in the top corners near their respective health bars as shown. They are usually close to the characters' names, so the user can look at the image of the characters easily than look at the character names in text form. If a fighting game chooses to include weapons, they are usually found in the bottom corners next to the power bars, so the user has an easy way to view what their characters have available to them to use. If a player hits their opponent in a combo, then the combo gets displayed. This is usually faded and near the outer sides of the middle of the screen, as this isn't vital to the user. I will now take you through the HUD within boxing games. This is what a HUD looks like in boxing games. To get to this, first we start off with player health bars. Players' health in boxing games is usually found at the bottom of the screen. This is because players need to view the upper center of the screen to see their character's fists, so they can't be distracted by the health bars getting in their way. Stamina bars are found within fighting games and are placed over the health bars as in real life. They are linked. Low stamina could mean getting more damage when hit, and this being a real life simulation, they are placed together. Just as fighting games, time is important in boxing games and can't get in the way of the action. This is why it is placed at the lower center of screen and it also separates health bars. Number of rounds needs to be displayed to the user, and again, just like fighting games, needs to be placed near time as shown. Character names aren't important to the user as it doesn't affect gameplay, but developers like to let their users know who they are fighting as. The user can look at the names of the boxer and know which bars belong to which boxer. The names are placed near the health bar. I will now take you through the HUD within linear action adventures. This is what the HUD traditionally looks like in linear action adventures. To get to this, we will start with the player's health bars. In linear action adventures, users need to view the scene as at the bottom of the screen, so the player's health is displayed at the top left of screen. Linear action adventures tend to have power bars or magic bars. These are displayed under the health bar, so the player can look up and see how much magic they have left easily and look at their health at the same time. Linear action adventures allows the user to control one character, so they do not usually include any character names. However, if the game allows the user to control multiple characters, they can view the characters' names at the top of the screen. This is important as usually the camera will shift to that player they are controlling. If a game allows the user to switch character, then a character's icon may be displayed. This will be found next to the health bar of the character and alongside the character's name. If a part of the game requires the user to maneuver through under time conditions, a timer will be displayed. This is found at the top right to not mix with the scene and kept separate from the character information, so the user is made aware of a change of circumstance. The user may be shown a combo number when fighting enemies, but this is of no use to the user. It is found in the center right of the screen as it follows the trend set by fighting games. If a linear game involves guns or weapons, then the user needs to know what weapons they have and its associated ammo. These are found at the bottom right of screen to follow the trend set by first-person shooters. Linear action adventure games tend to include items, so these are placed near the weapons and ammo. These are placed there to keep the screen as tidy as possible for the user. QuickTime events may be displayed, so a QuickTime button will be shown near the player and near the center of the screen as it is vital information to the user. I will now talk you through an open world action adventure game. Here is a look at the HUD. Due to being open world games, they include minimaps for the user. These are found at the bottom left, so the user can look into the distance on screen. Health is important and needs to be displayed. Due to being tidy, health is usually displayed around the minimap. If the game includes body armor, it is displayed the opposite side of health, also due to being tidy for the user. Some elements are the same as linear action adventures. I will now take you through first-person shooters. Here is the traditional HUD layout found in first-person shooters. Minimaps are important, so get displayed, usually at the top left corner to allow the user to see the important elements at the center of the screen. Score is usually displayed in first-person shooters to allow the user to know how close they are to reaching an objective. These are usually found at the bottom left of the screen. Time is another element displayed next to the score, as the user may need to know how long they have to reach their target. Ammo and inventory are displayed to the user as they are important to know. Because of not wanting to get mixed with the score, they are placed at the opposite corner for the user. A faded compass may be displayed. This, again having little to do with score, is placed alongside ammo and inventory, whereas a team icon is displayed next to the team score for the ease of view for the user to be kept together. When shooting, a crosshair will be shown on screen so the user knows where they are shooting. I will now take you through the HUD within racing games. Positioning is important info to the user, so it is displayed usually at the top left to allow the user to see the track easily. Character names may be displayed to show who is ahead of the user. This info is usually placed near the player's positioning. Time, however, links with laps and not placings, so it is placed at the opposite corner so the user doesn't get mixed up. The number of laps will be placed near the time to allow the user to know how long they are taking to complete a lap, which is useful for simulated races. A mini-map will be displayed but be faded to allow the user to know the layout of the road. This is placed at the side but not on the road so the user can view it easily. A speedometer will be displayed at the bottom right to allow the user to know their speed. This is placed here so not to get confused with track laps or braking distance for the user. Here is a list of my references that I have used.